Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So last week my parents asked me to go into their attic and sort through my old childhood things, and I found this tin of old art supplies from about 15 years ago, probably, 15 years ago, maybe a little bit more, and I thought I would have a go at making some art with them now and see how well they do. So there's an assortment of pens, a Crayola stamp marker there, and a kind of turquoise Crayola marker, and a Pocahontas ruler. Oh, I love Pocahontas, she was cool, although Pocahontas 2, that film ruined Pocahontas for me. Anyway, there's some Barbie pencils and also some Little Mermaid pencils here, and there's some with Sebastian on. They're quite chunky pencils, and I remember these actually. I think they were quite good. I remember using them quite a lot. And Flounder on this one. These come in some quite nice colours. And also a Beryl marker, one of those fine liner Beryl markers which you can still get today. Still quite popular. And Ariel. Oh, Ariel was my favourite Disney princess. She still is. Ariel is awesome. And another one, and also this pencil sharpener that looks like a screwdriver, because why not, and a razor, not sure if that'll still work, and a Toy Story pencil. Oh, Toy Story was awesome. I love Toy Story. And also, what else do we have in here? We have, oh yeah, a 101 Dalmatians pencil too, and some more water-based markers. Not sure if they'll work, but we'll give them a go. And oh, this is my favourite item in here. I think this is a rainbow pencil, one of those pencils that has 4 different colours in the same lead, so you colour with it and it colours 4 different colours at once. And yeah, I can't wait to get started on that. And also I found this sketch pad in there as well. Not the best paper, that kind of thin paper that you get in kids shops, but it still looks in fairly good condition, so we're going to give it a go. So let's get on with it. So I began by swatching out some of the supplies onto the paper because the supplies hadn't been used in quite a long time, so I wanted to see if they still worked, and I found that the pencils were really good. The Barbie pencils and the Little Mermaid pencils were really quite pigmented and they were decent quality for kids supplies, and you often find that, I guess, with the branded pencils, kids brands, as in like Barbie or Disney or stuff like that. They tend to be decent quality, better than the kind of generic kids pencils that you get, so that was alright. The water-based markers, on the other hand, they weren't too great, mostly run out, although a couple of them still worked, but sadly the stamp marker had run out, so you couldn't really see it. And here I am using the rainbow pencil, and I had quite a lot of fun. I did a little bit too many swatches of this because I was trying to see how I could get it to work and get like different colours, how the lead would work, and yeah, I had real fun with this. So I'm doing a nice little spiral just to see if I can get it all different colours, and just kind of procrastinating really before I get started. So I was really impressed with the supplies, and I was surprised that they still work quite well. The only real downfall of this supply lot was the paper. It was that kind of really thin kids sketch paper, but we'll see how it goes. So because I was a child in the 90s and these supplies probably were from the 90s, very late 90s anyway, I thought it would be good to do a 90s piece. So I drew a girl with 90s hair and her surrounded by all sorts of toys from the 90s, and I sketched it out with a pencil first, although you can't really see too much of this on camera, so I didn't include this footage, a lot of this footage anyway. And I used the Toy Story pencil because that was my favourite pencil out of the pot, and then I used the black Barbie pencil, sharpened it to a fine point and kind of used it like a fine liner, because there wasn't any black pen, so I just used that instead. And it was quite difficult to do this because the pigment wasn't the best, but it was alright. But it kind of looked a little bit muddy on the paper because the paper was a slightly off-white colour and it wasn't the best. And also I had to kind of limit my erasing because the paper wasn't so good, and the more I erased, the more it would kind of spoil the paper, so I had to be really careful. There were quite a lot of things wrong with the anatomy of the face, for example, but I didn't want to erase it and spoil it and kind of mud all the colours together too much. So yeah, I think it did okay considering, but obviously it's not my best drawing ever, but I definitely had fun using these supplies. So I decided to give her purple and pink hair because I had quite a lot of purple and pink pencils, and the pastel-y pink is quite a 90s colour, so I thought that would look quite good. And I used the Beryl pen on top to do the shading because the pencils didn't layer very well. I kind of burnished very early and realised that the pencils didn't layer on top of each other too well, but that's okay, they're not really made to, so it doesn't really matter. And for the skin I used a very kind of light orange and some brown for the shadows and some pink again for the blush, but I didn't kind of colour too heavily on this because I didn't want her to look too bright orange because that's not really a good look. And the toys, I drew a Furby, which I didn't have as a child, but they were very popular in the 90s and 2000s. And I did one of those choker necklaces, you know what I mean, the kind of springy ones that were really popular, I did a Tamagotchi. I had one of these are really awesome. I had one that you could hatch different animals. I think there was like 10 different animals in it, and you could kind of choose which animal you hatched, which was exciting. And also a snap bracelet. You just snap them onto your wrist and it kind of clings to your wrist, and then you can take them off and they go straight again. And I used the Pocahontas ruler to draw this because I wanted to use the ruler. And also I drew a troll, one of those trolls that had the really sticky up hair, the fluffy bright coloured hair, and the trolls often you could put them on top of your pencils, and I remember having one that I had on top of my pencil in my pencil case for school. And I also drew a scrunchie because that's a classic 90s hair accessory, and I also drew one of those butterfly clips that we used to put in our hair, kind of about 6 or 7 all at once, because we thought that was a good look. Not such a good look now, but when you're 10 and in the 90s it was pretty cool. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katie and I make art videos. I upload speed paints, discussions, challenges, those kind of things. And my upload day is a Thursday, but I sometimes add the occasional bonus video at the weekend, usually a Sunday. So please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And in case you missed it, at the weekend I launched my Patreon. This is because I'm wanting to upgrade my filming equipment because I want to make better videos for you guys. So I'll leave a link to that video at the end of this one in case you want to check that out. So I saved using the rainbow pencil till last because I knew that would be my favourite supply and I like to leave the best thing till last. And I used it to colour in the scrunchie because I wanted to make it a super 90s scrunchie, a super rainbow scrunchie. And I remember scrunchies coming in all different colours and kind of patterns, and I remember laying them up in my hair, putting one on top of the other, thinking that looked super awesome. So I wanted to do a rainbow scrunchie and I really had fun colouring in this. And for the background I used the turquoise Crayola pen, which was kind of running out, so it was kind of almost like a spray can effect from MS Paint, which again is quite nostalgic, so it kind of fits. And I used that to colour in the Furby as well because I thought that would give it a nice texture, and I quite like the effect of this kind of half run out pen. And I also used the rainbow pencil to create some swirls because I really enjoyed using this pencil and I'm definitely going to keep it in my pencil case. To be honest, I'm probably going to keep a few of these items in my pencil case just for the sake of nostalgia. So I really enjoyed using these supplies to create some art, kind of brought back some fun memories of creating art as a child, and I really like these supplies even though they're not the best quality, especially the paper. Actually, I didn't really like the paper. The paper was the worst thing ever, but the supplies were good, the supplies were fine, and yeah, I think it turned out okay considering the quality of the supplies. So let me know in the comments below if you remember having any supplies like this, or if you still have supplies like this. Let me know, and let me know what your favourite art supply was when you were growing up as well. I'd love to hear them. So that's all for today's video, and if you like this video, emotionally, please leave it a like down below as that really helps me out. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye for now.